Okay, un segundito. Gallery. Okay. Bueno, saludos. Antes de comenzar, quiero dar algunas notitas. So, hello, everybody. Before we start, I want to tell you some pointers. Recuerden que el webinar se va a hacer en inglés. Para poderlo escuchar en español, tienen que darle al botón de donde sale interpretación o un mapita del mundo. So, just to remind you that this webinar is going to be in English. So, if you like to listen to it in Spanish, you have to press the icon at the bottom of your screen that says interpretation. It's like kind of like a world map. Para poderlo escuchar en español. Seleccionan English o español. So you can select English or Spanish. Nuestra panelista principal, Donatella, oh, actually, I'm going to start in English because Carlos is going to translate Spanish. Give me 1 second. Quiero hacer, I want to do a test. No sé si alguno de los miembros del comité está escuchando en español para que Carlos traduzca. So I want to do a test to see if you choose Spanish, so Carlos can say something and you can hear him.
I'm not, no estoy todavía como intérprete.
Okay, give me 1 second. Aquí me dice no join. Okay. Carlos Sánchez, English to Spanish. Okay. Yo creo que ya. I think you're now set for interpreter. ¿No te ha llegado?
No, no me aparece el botón aún.
Qué raro. Un segundito. Add interpreter. Carlos Sánchez. English to Spanish. Update.
Ahora sí.
Okay. Okay, so let's do a test. If you're listening in Spanish, any of the committee members, can you hear Carlos talking? Although I'm not seeing his mouth move.
Sí, ya está lista.
Sí. Okay, perfect. Okay. So before we start, I like to make a small announcement. Donatella is having a little bit of a hiccup. She will connect as soon as possible. So before we actually start, I would like to introduce the technical committee and someone very, very important as well that is going to give us our welcome. With us, we have the part of PAGU Women's Technical Committee. We have Carlos Sánchez that is doing the translation in Spanish. We have Mónica Calabro from Argentina. We have Anabeth Vargas from Panama. We have Christy Phillips from USA. We have Lisette Alvarado from Ecuador. And Bella Balboa from Mexico. So before we start, and so we give Donatella a little bit of time, I would like to share with you a document here. These were some questions that Elena Lario asked Donatella a couple weeks ago, and Donna answered those. So again, in order to give a little bit more time to Donatella to connect, give me 1 second. I'm sharing the screen. Okay, so I'll read the first one. This question was about elements on beam, the Yushchenko loop and the TESA. And those elements are listed as roles. And I mean, if they are performed with a back hip circle on the beam. And the question was, can these elements be used to fulfill requirement 4? I mean, the backward elements in different directions. And the answer was yes. These elements are not pure roles. They are roles. They are only in the list because of the circle at the end, because they can be performed with the back hip circle or not. So, and let me read the last part, because we know that one element can be used to fulfill more than one compositional requirements, but the code states that only role can be used to fulfill compositional requirement 2. So in case of these two elements, the Yushchenko loop or the TESA on beam, they can be used also if the gymnast perform or all their acro in forward position, they could be used as a backward element. The second question was also about beam, the combination of movements or elements close to the beam. During the European Gymnastics webinar, it was explained that the gymnasts have to touch the beam with two different body parts. And the question was, if a combination of two elements touching the beam with the same body part could be used. For example, the forward roll and a handstand to forward roll. And the answer was yes. There are two different body parts that are related to the low beam movement. So it's not the combination of two elements, but two body parts. There was another question about balance beam and floor exercise. So in jumps, leaps and hops with half turn or 180 degree, the prescribed position must be reached at the beginning or at the end. And the question was, is there any indication of degrees to consider that the position is shown at the beginning or at the end? And the example is the gymnast showing the split position after 90 of rotation, but before 180 degree. So the answer was that it must be close to the 180, I mean, in terms of the turn of the split. And then we would apply deductions for precision. Because again, remember, for jumps, leaps, or hops with half turn, the split position have to be either at the beginning or the end. There was a question about uneven bars, and during the webinar, it was specified that an empty swing, the 0.5, no additional execution deductions will be taken. So the comment was that it's not written anywhere in the code, so she wanted to check if that's the case. So both in intermediate swing and empty swing, no additional execution deductions are made, and their answer was yes, that is correct. For floor, this was a specific routine. For the last acrobatic series, the gymnast attempts to do a salto forward stretch with 1.5 twist, but she performs it in a tuck position. And the salto forward tuck with 1.5 is not in the code of points. So can the judges consider a full twist forward, or if they have to decide that it was an element with no difficulty value and all the consequences of that? The answer was that if the turn is completed, and she knows the routine that Elena was referring to, you can award a salto forward stretch with 1.5 turn and apply deductions for bent leg unless they submitted it as a new element. So it was those two options. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, and now, okay, stop share. Oops, sorry. Okay, so if you have any questions about what Donatella will be saying, please write the questions in the Q&A part. We will get those and discuss it at the end. I would also like this opportunity. Kenny, I haven't forget about you, but I want you to do the welcome when Donatella gets with us. Kenia Herrera, the Vice President of PAGO. I haven't forget about her. Quiero aprovechar.
Gracias, Yasaira.
I would like to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the competition that we just had, the Junior Pan-American Games. It was the first time that our continent has games like that. And I could say that it was a really successful competition. Hopefully, we will continue to have that type of competition in the future. And I know that a lot of you have asked me, particularly the coaches, have asked me about competitions for next year. The Senior Pan American Championships are supposed to be held in May. That's the date that we chose for those types of competitions. And the Junior Pan American Championships probably in June. We haven't said anything officially yet because PAGO is still evaluating some countries that have interest in hosting those competitions. But they are going to be held either separately, I mean, the Junior Pan American Championships and Senior, or together, like we used to do on Olympic years, that we used to do it together. In addition to those two competitions, remember that we also developed the Pan American Hopes program. We just reviewed it during Cali and made updates because of the new quota points. That those new updates will be out by January. I am just finishing to translate the program in English, and we will send that to PAGO so PAGO can send it to all federations. And also next year, by the end of next year, either November or December, we have planned the Torneo de Esperanzas Panamericanas, or Pan American Hopes tournament. And that tournament will include the welcome, Donatella. And that tournament will include the developmental program and juniors as well. So I'm going to give Donatella a couple minutes to settle. So before she actually starts, I will also like to give Kenia Herrera, she's Vice President of PAGO for Central America. And actually, Carlos, I'm going to ask you a favor because Kenia is going to talk in Spanish. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'll translate for her. Okay.
Gracias. Gracias, Yasaira. Buenos días a todos los participantes. Gracias, Donatella, por tomarte tu tiempo y estar para nosotros, para nuestra unión, para nuestros técnicos en este importante webinar que todos estamos esperando muy ansiosos. Quiero
Kenia, wait.
Okay.
So thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Donatella, for joining us in this webinar that is really important to us.
Sí, estamos muy felices, Donatella, de tenerte aquí con nosotros. Donatella fue reelecta en el recién pasado Congreso de la FIC como directora técnica, noticia que nos alegra mucho y también aprovechamos para felicitarla.
So we're really happy that Donatella is here with us. Donatella was re-elected as president of FIG Technical Committee. So we're also not only happy to have her here, but we also like to congratulate her.
Aprovecho esta oportunidad también para, en nombre de la Unión Panamericana, de nuestra presidenta Naomi Valenzo, felicitar a todo el comité técnico de la gimnasia artística femenina del UPAG y especialmente a Yasaira por este gran campeonato panamericano, por los Juegos Panamericanos de Cali, por este gran evento que organizaron. Fue un evento muy bonito, sin ningún tipo de problema, todo salió muy bien y queremos felicitar a todo el comité técnico, a Yasaira y a todos los jueces de la Unión que participaron en los Juegos de Cali.
Kenya would also like to congratulate all the PAGU technical committee for the games that we just had. It was a really great experience, really pretty nice games. She would like to congratulate myself, gracias Kenya, and the committee for all the work that we did during the games.
Esperamos que aprovechen hoy esta gran oportunidad que nos está dando Donatella de conocer más sobre los cursos, sobre las nuevas modalidades de los cursos para jueces y todas las novedades que tenga el Comité Técnico de Gimnasia Artística Femenina de la FIC y que pueda ser de gran interés. Nuevamente, pues les deseamos muchos éxitos y que sea un año provechoso, aprovechando que estamos en diciembre, ya que todos estos conocimientos nos sirvan también para el próximo año y para seguir mejorando cada día. Gracias.
So she would like us to take advantage of having this webinar with Donatella. So I know she knows that it will be positive for us to have all the information about the tests and the courses. So let's take advantage of this webinar. And gracias, Kenia.
Gracias.
Así que, bueno, sí. Okay, now I go back to English because Carlos is translating. Okay, just make sure again, if you need translation in Spanish, si necesitan traducción al español, just press the button interpretation and click Spanish. Oprime el botón que dice interpretación, donde dice español. Okay, así que bueno, without further ado, I would like to introduce someone that I know that she doesn't need any introduction. Donatella Sacchi, our current president of the technical committee. And as you all might know, I asked her to discuss a couple points that I know we all have in mind, including the judges courses, the test, if there are any updates on the code of point. We will also, she will also discuss a little bit about the artistry deductions, and those were discussed in the European Union webinar, and I think they are really valuable. And at the end, if we have some questions, we will discuss those as well. So Donna, I don't know if you need to share a screen or if you will, because let me double check. Yeah, you can share a screen if you need to. So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Yazaira. First of all, I apologize for the delay. Never thinking it's already December, first Sunday, everybody out for the Christmas shopping. Suddenly, a lot of people in the car, and I never thought so many are in the street. I'm not used, actually, to see so much traffic in my city. Sorry. So, at the beginning, Carlos, if I'm too fast, let me know. I can speak slow. Okay. So first, I would like to touch the judges' courses, because I know everybody is very worried, and I receive already so many questions about the judges' courses. Don't worry, FIG is working. Actually, I can say that even the decision to run no intercontinental course in presence with the exam, but to do only online educational material and online test, as per today's situation, was a wise decision, because here in Europe, the COVID cases are growing up, and for sure, it was not possible for everybody to enter Switzerland. Switzerland at the moment is very strict with the entry requirements. I'm sorry for the judges who wish to raise the category, mostly from category 2 to category 1. I can understand. Sorry. At the end is only for 3 years, and even not really 3, because after the middle of 24, we will be back again to an intercontinental course. If you wish to move from category 4 to category 3, and from category 3 to category 2, after confirmation of your current category in the online test, in 2023, there is the possibility, if COVID allows us, to organize regional courses and to upgrade according to the exam in presence result to a higher category. Of course, not category 1. Regional, because these avoid long traveling. So probably inside the same area or inside the same continent will be easier to travel with not big restrictions and conditions. We don't know what will be the future. For the moment, staying in the present, very soon, or probably already from Friday, in STS, we publish the Olympic Games videos and the Kita Kyushu videos. So you have almost every IRCOS video, at least the main competitions, in STS, and you can practice. During the online test, we are allowed to use only IRCOS videos. So it's a good opportunity for you to practice already there. Code of points has been published in all languages, and now by approximately 15 December, we are going to publish again in STS, because we will use for everything the STS platform, you know, the educational platform by Douglas Hill. We are going to publish all the PowerPoint presentations. You are lucky, because the last decision is to publish the PowerPoints in official languages. So you will have the English for sure, and I ask at least to publish as soon as possible the English, not waiting for the translation. At least you can start to study. But as soon as the translators will be ready, we are going to publish the same PowerPoints in Spanish, French, and Russian, for you to have a better understanding of the rules. The first idea was to publish the presentation with the voice of the technical committee over the presentation, to have a kind of online course. I'm very sorry to say that it is not possible, because we cannot meet in presence so often. Not all of us are excellent in this technology, and also doing home alone for Churi, for example, is very difficult to send to us from China. You know the problem with China internet. But in each PowerPoint, you will see, if necessary, additional comments on the bottom in the notes or comments, our explanations in wording. We try to write how much possible. And please, before making questions to us, go through the material. And if something is not there, or if something is not clear, send us the question. All the committee is ready to support you in preparation for the test. But first, check the material. Sometimes we receive questions when the answer is in the code of points or in the help desk. You can understand. First, go and check. And then, if it's not clear enough, come back to us. This is about the presentations. About the online test. Is a test. It means that the procedure is pass, fail. There is no percentage for the category. I'm going to rewrite the specific judges' rules. We work already this week with the general judges' rules, and this is clear there. If you pass, doesn't matter with how many scores or how high percentage, you maintain your category. The minimum requirement to pass is the requirement for the category 4. So if I'm not wrong, and I'm waiting answer from the TC, for the D component is 70%. So below 70, you fail. And for the E is 75. And below 75, you fail. The D components are like in the Longines, Swiss timing, sorry, we have no more Longines, now it's Swiss timing. Swiss timing tablet. So you have to enter the difficulties, 2D, 3C, 1B, the composition requirements, the connections bonus, and in the connection bonus are included serious bonus and dismount bonus. This is the way FIG design the interface of the tablet. It means that you will see the screen. You have here one square with starting from top J, H, blah, 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 until A. Horizontal, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in the moment you know how many D with the mouse, and mouse actually is the suggestion of our IT department, or in the touch screen, we suggest not to use the phone, too small. You can just click line D3. In that moment, to avoid you to do mistakes, you are no more allowed to click more than additional 5 elements. So already the system blocks you to go over 8 elements. This is very good. So it's not possible to do a mistake clicking 10 elements. Anytime you click one number, this already excludes some numbers to go over 8. So you have 3D, then you can click 3C, and are already 6, and you will see that this part over the 3 becomes gray. It means that the system allows you to click only 2 elements to reach the 8. This was a genial idea of our IT department, and I think it is very good, because under stress, you start to click everything, and you don't know where are you going, because you are nervous, because the mouse is going by himself. In this case, you click something wrong and computer stop you. So you know you did a mistake and you go back to review. Then you have here in the same screen, the composition requirements. So you have 4 boxes, 0, 5, 1, 1, 5, 2. You decide how many composition requirements. Multiplication by 5 is very easy. So you click 1, 5, or 2, or 1, or 0, 5, depending. So it's very easy, depending how many composition. Don't click 3 times 0, 5. This is not correct, okay? You decide, or 0, 5, or 1, or 1, 5, or 2. Then you go to connection. Connection is addition of connection bonus, series bonus on beam, and dismount bonus. So everything is together in the tablet. And then you have all the numbers you want from 0 to 1.9. So you decide how many bonus you have, and you click directly 0.5 or 0.2 or 0.1 or 1 point directly to avoid mistakes. Dismount is included. But to help you very soon, I hope, I'm waiting for FIG approval. We are going to publish errata to the code of points. And in this errata, there will be new recording sheets attached. In these new recording sheets, you will see that below CV, which is CV and series bonus as usual, now there is an additional box for dismount, because we realize, judging, that sometimes you forget the dismount bonus. And then, oh, yes, when you see the box dismount, you know for sure that maybe you forget, or maybe it was not there. But at least you know you need to check the dismount. More than this, we cannot help you. Listen. This is about the D. Bars, beam, and floor. About volt. Volt, just numbers. You enter for the D score, and this time also volt D score. You have 10 volts D, only D. Don't click the volt number. You must click the D value of the volt. Don't click 101. But you can click 4.8. So the D value, not the number of the volt. You have 30 seconds for the volt D, and just click the number 4.5, 4.6, dot 0, whatever, and validate. Before validate, check, because when validate, bye-bye, is already done, and there is nothing nobody can do for you. No me, no IT department, done. So check before validate. Then is coming the Volt E. Again, you have the tablet with the numbers, and the E deductions, only deductions, not E score, deductions. So 2.4, 1.1, validate, don't forget validate, because if you don't validate, the next video is coming and your result for that one is 0. Bye-bye. Okay? So, Volt, 30 seconds D, 30 seconds E. Then, bars. For bars, D, I already told you. About the E, we are thinking to make a difference between bars and floor and beam. At the moment is only a proposal. So for the E score on bars is 60 seconds, including the deductions and validate. Okay? Then is coming the next video. Everything is automatic. You cannot stop anything. For beam and floor, because we want you to pay attention to artistry deductions, not just to apply random by feeling, we will give you 70 seconds. And again, to help you to be good judges, because the goal of the Women Technical Committee is to be the best discipline in the FIG, as we are, because I know we are. With the errata, we will provide a form called checklist, artistry checklist. You have one for beam and one for floor. On top, you have all artistry and composition deductions and many lines with the gymnast. So for you is enough to make, okay, elongation, no, tick. Then disconnected, tick. Poor fit, tick. Total is 0.3, fine. So anytime you go through the checklist, and I can tell you, because we experimented before publishing, it helps a lot. In this case, you enter for beam and floor the total deductions. So execution and artistry for the test are together, not like in competition, but the checklist helps you anyway. So it's only one deduction, not two parts. Yazaira, I explained clear enough, I think.
Yes, I think it was clear enough.
Okay. For the D, bars, beam, and floor, we are thinking to give you, instead of 90 seconds, a little bit more, because we understand online the stress is bigger. You are alone, and you are worried to make mistakes, and you want to check again before validate. to be sure that you didn't do mistakes. So because the entering data is together in the timing, is one time, we are thinking to extend the timing for the D-score, bars, beam, floor. We did some experiment. We test everything before giving you, to be sure that what we do is in favor of a good result you may have. So be sure you will have enough time. Of course, there will be a clock with the countdown telling you the time is running. So don't sleep, okay? But I think you will have time enough. The order of apparatus will be different. We will do volt, beam, bars, floor. One long, one short. Also to avoid a little bit confusion between dance elements beam value and dance elements floor value. You cannot mix bars with floor. I hope the circle is not the pirouette. Okay? But there is always a but, you know, from me. In this case, each judge will start with a different apparatus. The order is the same, but one starts with volt, one starts with bars, one starts with floor, one starts with beam. The order is the same. So if I start bars, I do bars, floor, volt, beam. But we start differently. And each judge starts with a different routine. So my routine number 1 on bars is not Carlos' routine number 1 on bars. To avoid collaboration, we want really that you prove yourself how good you are. Then, last, we, women artistic, will have the test from provisionally, from 31st January to 3rd February. Pagu is the first continent. So each day, one continent. Pagu is the first. So at the moment, provisionally, not yet approved, you will take the test 31st January. So all the problems are yours. And then continent by continent, we solve the problems. It's a joke. I hope we arrive with no problems. Before the test, the official test, you have a practice session 1 week before. If I'm not wrong, for you should be 24th January. So that day is just to practice the system. So it's not a duplication of the exam. So you don't have all routines. You have 2 routines, each apparatus, each component, 2D, 2E, 2D, 2E, blah, 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 blah. And you practice the system. So you see video coming, then tablet, you test yourself entering, so you see how it works. You have the timing, you move to the next video, then move to the next apparatus, and you practice entering the data. So if there are problems, we already can solve during this practice session. Everything is through the STS platform. This is very important. And before you, we, technical committee, will make a test. So we, during our test, we will try to answer all possible problems, like pushing wrong, forgetting elements, I don't know, disconnection, whatever possible we have at the moment in the brain, to test the system. Immediately, when you send the last score, in FIG, they have the results. Then I hope good results. But we will have approximately 1 week to have a double check that the system has no bugs. And then we come back to you to confirm your category. New judges are allowed to this online test with a maximum, last information, of 10 new judges per federation. So in addition to the existing judges, 10 new judges per federation is a big number, I think, because then additional new judges may go to the regional course in presence. So there is another chance. Now, problems. Number 1, don't worry about the jumping of the video, because we receive already comments that in STS, the videos may jump. Yes, but we had a meeting with Doug, and he explained that is not streaming of the videos as now in STS. Anytime one video starts, the video will be downloaded on your device. So you see from your device. You don't see from STS platform through your device. When finish the video, bye-bye. So you cannot pass the information to somebody else. The video is canceled automatically. Each continent has a different set of exams. So you are the first, but you cannot give information to Europe or to Asia or to whatever, because they will have totally different routines, completely different. So what you have, they cannot see. There will be something else. Then another problem, internet. My suggestion is to test your internet connection in advance and to find a place where internet is good. Then, if you have a problem and something happens during the exam, the technicians, this is not my part, I'm 0 technically, the technician said that you have approximately, timing still to be fixed, 20 minutes to connect again. So you will go out, you go in again, you have 20 minutes and you can continue your test. If you go over these 20, I don't know, our suggestion was 30, but again, to be fixed. This time, your exam, your test, bye-bye. you fail. So you have to go to the retest session. When is the retest? We don't know, because depending how many need to retest, we will decide the date. Because if are 200 judges, should be quick, because countries need the judges. So can be April. If are 3 judges, they can wait. July, June, August. For 3 judges, they can wait because the majority gone. So this depends of a further analysis after the test finish. I think I said everything. There is something else, Yazaira, that can be interesting.
I have a couple questions that I would like to ask you. For example, one is, how many times will they be able to see vote, for example?
Okay, I have the answer. So it's good when I have answers. So we push FIG and DAG to show you vote twice. 2 times for the D, 2 times for the E. Next question.
Yes, the next one is, the next one is, we already have a date for PAGU, January 30th, but will all disciplines will have the test at the same time, like WAG, MAG, trampoline, because we have judges with more than one brevet.
Yes, I know. No, each discipline has a different date. This provisional, don't forget, provisional 31st January is only for women artistic. Is our day, is the D day or W day, let's say.
The next one is, due to this cycle being shorter, when are the Olympic qualification rules for judges being published?
Very good question. I know, it's a very good question. I have no answer in this case, because the E is not difficult to fix the E, because at the end, through the JEP, the evaluation system during the competitions, more or less we can manage the top E judges. The question is about the D, because previously was the top D in the rank order from the exam. Now, no exam. This is something we still even didn't start to discuss. The focus is at the moment in the test with 2,000 problems. But I hope that we will publish at least before the registration to Liverpool, at least.
Okay. And the last one that we have, it's, since it's a short cycle, is there a way that we can carry the competitions that we already have in this cycle to the 2024 in order to upgrade?
This is also a good question, and we never discussed this. We, in one moment, we thought that maybe we reduce the number of the competition requirement, because not only because it's shorter cycle, because actually even is only 3 years there are in calendar a lot of competitions, but because we don't know if the competitions will be canceled or not. We don't know the future. So this is still a discussion. At the moment, you will see that there is almost nothing about it in the general judges rules. So this is still a discussion. I take a note, but Yazaira, if I forget, come back to me again and again. I'm old. So brain out of order sometimes.
Yes.
And, so the two main questions are selection Olympic Games judges. This is a very good question. We thought, me and Arthur, about it. At the moment, no time even to speak about it. And the second one is the number of competition for the next cycle, so not for this. Okay. Which will be the 16th cycle, correct? The next one.
I believe so, yes.
Because the coming is 15. So the next is 16 cycle. Okay. Not.
Well, I do have one more about the judges courses. In order to access the material on STS, do the judges have to pay the exam fee, or just with the registration through the federation are they going to be able to access those presentations?
Okay, so now in December, FIG will open the registration. They said 13 December, but all the dates are, I started with beginning November. Look, I'm now in the middle December. So we move from one day to another day, from 1 week to another week. So I don't guarantee, but theoretically, from 13 December, the federation can register the judges for the course online. So, and for the exam. Each judge has to pay 150 Swiss francs as before. Nothing changed. We are still, let's say, cheap in some way. Okay. In that moment, you will receive a special, they didn't call password. It's kind of PIN. I don't know, like the bank account when you go to take money from the bank. Okay, so you will have a special PIN code to access the material. So first, you must check that your email is correct, because when the federation registers you, it's not enough to write the federation email. Otherwise, bye-bye, the PIN code will go somewhere. So we need your email, personal email. Check the dot, check the letter. Sometimes just missing one letter and we are going round and round to find the judge. And your federation, probably the federation will receive a PIN code, personal, for each judge. And with this PIN code, you have access to the material. Now, the question without answer is if with the same PIN code, you can go to the exam. Because at the beginning, the idea was to have two different PIN. Can you imagine? For us, maybe not difficult, but for rhythmic, with grouped individual, with material group and material individual, they have to remember 4 PIN codes. For rhythmic, not possible. Mm-hmm. So in this case, I cannot say is one PIN code for both, or you will receive 2 different pins. Anyway, this will be the system.
Okay, I have another question, actually a couple ones, but it's the same one. If the judges are going to have any time between events, like to prepare for the next one, or for example, after they finish vote, will they have a couple minutes to get ready for beam, or is it all continuous?
Okay, so this already planned. We are organized. Women are always organized. So in this case, we will have to move from D to E. We are debating, same apparatus, we are debating between 30 seconds, 1 minute, probably 1 minute, probably, okay? So just to switch the brain from the D to the E. Anyway, there will be slide. E, number 1, routine. Okay, we will work on this setup. Then from one apparatus to the next apparatus, approximately 3 minutes to change papers, symbol charts, I don't know, brain, whatever. Then after 2 apparatus, the idea is to have a pee-pee break. So before starting bars, probably somebody needs a pee-pee break. So go there, drink a coffee, espresso, because only 3 minutes. So then in these 15 minutes, you have to decide, or pee-pee, or American coffee, or answer to the phone. I don't know. It's up to you. Okay? But approximately after 2 apparatus, you have 15 minutes. This is our idea. What we are going to propose to the IT department is a proposal. It's not yet in the system. Then when we move from the theory to the practice, let's see.
Okay. Another question, since we have at least 5 different time zones in Pago, do the exam, will everybody have to take the test at the same time, or it will depend on the country or the time zone of the judge?
As I know, all the continent will do at the same time. So let's say what is 2 o'clock for you can be 1 o'clock for another, can be 3 o'clock for the next, but all the continent at the same time.
Okay, thank you. And I think the last one that we have is, when do new judges will be able to access the STS? And I guess it's when the federations register them, right?
Yes, because anyway, the new judges, even now going to STS, they will see the old material. So there is no new presentation, nothing new. It's still the old material. Something is still valid, something is obsolete. So everybody at the same time, after registration with the PIN, will go to the educational material. By the way, as I said, after you study, you can send any question to us. We are open to answer and to support your preparation.
Perfect. I don't think we have any more questions about the test so far right now. So
in case, come back. One more thing. If you have problems, connection, whatever, there will be somebody from IT department or from STS staff to assist you in some way. For technical problem, for judging problems, you have no help. Sorry, you have to judge by yourself. But if you have technical problem, in some way, somebody will be available by phone or I don't know. Because if no internet, they said they can send us email. But if they don't have internet, how they can send you email? So these are the men thinking practically, not practical. So, but maybe by phone, SMS, I don't know. They will manage this. It's far from, it's out of my hands. It's not me. Technicians, it's not me. It's difficult to deal with them.
I have a question that reminds me of Rima. If during the countdown, we will have that sound that tells us when time was almost over.
Yes, of course. What I saw, it was one ring bell at 30, another one at 10, but still we are working on it. But yes, you will have some sound that tells you that game is almost over.
Okay. I think that's pretty much. I know that probably they will ask more questions while we keep talking about some other things. And I will appreciate if you could share with us the artistic deduction, the explanation that you did, similar to the one for the European webinar. So I will really appreciate that.
Okay, so you want me to start with artistry?
Thank you, please. Yes.
Okay, so wait, because, okay, I was here. Okay, I start with floor because beam is very similar at the end. Okay. Wait, share the screen. I told you I'm not good in technology. I know. Now Zoom is not coming back anymore. Ah, yes, you are here. I see you. Okay, okay, okay. Now you see,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can I keep small like this? It's easier for me to move.
Yeah.
Okay, you read enough. Okay, as I said, with the errata will arrive this artistry checklist, one for beam and one for floor. So you will see all on top and you can just tick. But before this, we are going to publish one video of explanations done by Patrick Kiens, you know very well from Netherlands, now working in Austria. And he prepared an explanation about the good body posture. And according to it, you have then to apply deductions. Patrick is not telling you that this is a deduction and this is not a deduction. He just will give you an explanation. Then, when is deduction and when is not deduction, this will be the technical committee through the practical videos. Speaking and working with Patrick, you will see that will be something that is very good, something acceptable, and something not good enough. It means that for these 3 years, to improve the knowledge, instead of applying the deductions in different way. So we want to improve your knowledge. Not everybody has the same background, the same culture. So in this case, in this moment, we will go no deduction when is excellent, when is almost good, and we apply deduction when is not enough. So about the poor body posture, it means that the gymnast must have a body prepared for gymnastics. So this is a work that needs to be done very early, because we know that it's difficult to teach the gymnast to stay with shoulder down, long neck, not looking always down, keep the stomach in to present nice to the judges and to the audience. This is very important and must start when the gymnasts are very young. Then about insufficient amplitude, which is the maximum elongation. In the video we saw, almost all the gymnasts have this deduction on beam and on floor, because nobody is just, no, almost all, go back, almost all are just moving arms, even nice, but never till the maximum, even with the body, with the movement of the shoulders. So until the last finger. In this case, maybe it's nice, but it's not till the end. So we will apply 0.1 for insufficient amplitude. Feet. On floor, you have only feet not pointed and relaxed during the choreography, but the choreography, the movements are also when you start to run to the dance elements, or you just step into a dance element. So this should be done toes, heel, as I learned in the Jurassic time when I was a gymnast. This was the beginning at that time, to learn how to walk. Now the gymnasts are walking like this in the routine because they are not used. So 0.1 deduction. Involvement of the body parts. Here is still written three-dimensional choreography, because what we want to say is that the gymnast cannot only move arms and legs. We are on floor. So when you move arms, you can go with the shoulders side, or move the body forward, or going slightly backward, turn the head, have a torsion. So on floor, you have to use the body. Of course, it's not that in each movement you are crazy and you move everything, but in the entire floor routine, we want to see that you use all the body, not to stop here and just moving arms and legs, but to work with the trunk or with the head together with arms and legs. Of course, sometimes you have amplitude and involvement together. Sometimes only one of them. The reason is not that, I know the question, is a double deduction. You have to consider that the other choice is to give 1, 3 for the deductions. So in this case, what you like actually is to go from 1 to 2 instead of jumping from 1 to 3. So you add, yes, the deduction, but somebody can be elongation, but no involvement of the body. So it depends. We saw many routines. I can tell you that very rare we were different in application of artistry, and mostly sometimes there is 1/10 that could be maybe yes, maybe not in this gray area. But 1/10, if you think to the amount of execution, is almost nothing. So I think especially with the checklist will be fine. Then very important on floor is engagement. It means that the gymnast must interpret the music. It's not blank, empty face, especially looking down and making the routine. This is one of the few deduction, actually only two, 1 or 3. In this part, we are very strong because we want that the gymnast is not only telling a story, because sometimes there is a music that has no story. We are not actually in the theater and it's not for everybody. But at least we want to see that the gymnast has a body language. The gymnast has a face connected with the music, not just normal performing or smiling all the time, which is nothing. This is a very important part. The gymnast must work to express themselves, to show their characteristic. I'm sorry, the coaches must work. I'm very sorry, Monica. We saw the webinar you published. I hope everybody saw. So you must start very early also to work and push the gymnasts to express themselves, not to be shy or just I perform what they teach me. This is no more enough. Disconnected is not so much for floor, not much for floor. And then we move to the next. Yes. So we have creativity. So not only basic movement, arms, legs, but try to have something that is not original, because difficult to have something original, but a little bit more complex, which is gymnast must work to reach it. Of course, a baby junior cannot have the same complexity as the senior gymnast, but through the years, she can improve and add movements to the routine. If I think to Listunova, for example, her routine is a routine, you see that there is a work in the choreography. There is something that is not the same for everybody. It's something that is specific for her. Highlight her. And then she has a very nice interpretation because she's beautiful. But this is another story. She's beautiful for me, at least for me. Poor choreography in the corner, lack of variety. Lack of variety, you know, only one time the same leg position. Nothing changed. One time to feet, one time flamingo, one time leg back, forward. What is the final position? The final position must be together with the choreography. So in the moment the gymnast finish the choreography and then up, flamingo, just to have a different position, she has a poor choreography. But when she finishes arms and flamingo, this is okay. Different position, work with the choreography. And also, what is poor choreography in the corner? Is just something to breathe that is totally disconnected with the style of the routine. So it means this is poor choreography because she was energetic all the time, and then suddenly the music is going still energetic, and she's there just arm, second arm, breathing. So this is poor choreography in the corner. Can be also pose? Yes, because we see that it's too simple arms movement, nothing else, staying in the corner. So in addition, could be also pose. Yes. Touching floor is the same. The music and musicality is the same. The only difference is the background music. Background music now is 1 and 3. It's not a mistake. 3 is when totally there is no connection between choreography and music. So they are going in the divergent lines, separate. Point 1 you can use when in some part the gymnast is not in the music, which is not in the beat. This is also a culture we don't have. I learned recently that you can use the beats in different way. 1 movement, 1 beat. 1 beat, 2 movements. 1 movement and 2 movements, 1 beat. So there is a different way to use the beats with the movements. And we don't have enough culture. But at least you can see that the music has character and the gymnast is slowing down. So maybe in this case, you don't know what to do because it's not a totally background. What I do, I apply just point 1 for this specific part. One thing, back to the corners, the deduction is only 1 time. Doesn't matter if variety or poor choreography is 1 time in the routine. So don't brush your head too much. When you see once is point 1. And then if she has more, it's still point 1. For floor, I think I said everything. And we can move to beam. Moving to beam. Beam is very similar, is almost the same. There are few things that are really characteristic of the beam, and is the part here. I go to share the screen, wait. Okay, share the screen, beam. Okay, so as you can see, body posture, amplitude, and involvement of the body parts is the same. Of course, on beam, we know that is beam. So the main goal is not to have a fall, but at least in the routine, not in each movement, at least you can move the head, you can move a little bit forward, you can move shoulders, even when you are static to do something, not just forward, backward, arms, and then legs, just like this. Do something that involves more and is more pleasant to see, because beam is very boring. Then next, which is okay, feet not pointed. On beam, I can say there is not much to work, so usually not bad. But what is important on beam is the work in a releve. In the errata, you will see that instead of lack of work in releve, because there was a misinterpretation according to the text, will be poor work in relevé, which means that if you have something in a relevé, must be in the maximum relevé. If you step on the point in relevé, must be with the maximum amplitude. If you have half turn, 2 feet or 1 foot, must be at the maximum amplitude. It's not that one part of choreography must be in relevé. It's different. If you go in relevé, must be the maximum relevé. Then, variation in rhythm and tempo is as today. The gymnast must perform something quick and something more slow, maybe slow down before the acro elements to have time to think without having pause. And fluency is very important on beam. So the arms, the body can work the preparation for the elements without having stop. And between elements, not just simple, basic, short arm movement. Try to be with more grace, which is a glue between the elements. Next is about composition. Okay, this is the critical part now, because we are going to judge old routine. I hope the coaches will work better and give us less problems. Mount without DV. We added some mount considered without DV because we saw in the Stuttgart World Championships that, okay, coaches, clever as usual, did something very basic, but not written in the text to avoid the deduction. So now is not only lifting the leg or spot on, but any simple jump just to sit or one knee or to land on 2 feet. And now in the errata, there will be also to land, simple jump, to land on 1 or 2 feet. So the typical running on top of the beam, jump 2 feet and just land on 1 and go. This is not a mount with DV. This is a deduction 0.1 mount without DV. So you have to be a little bit creative, not just jump on the beam. Movement sideways. We deleted the word complex because too difficult to explain what is complex here and what is not complex. There is not much you can do traveling sideways. But if you move from A to B, so step from A, step, close, is no more enough. You have to go from A to B to C. How you want. You can just go pam, 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 or pam, 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 as you want, or even A, B, back to A, move to C. But if you are in A and you just do B, C, is not enough. You must have transition in space. Move in the space. physically move. In this moving, try to be creative with the arms. The simple circle are not choreography. When they just do with two arms this circle, this is not a choreography value. So move, alternate, move forward. You can move also the legs together. And after this traveling, one pose is not enough. So you finish your transition with simple arm movement, and you add something more elaborate at the end. One swing, leg, or you move the trunk, or you move the head, something that is choreography, not just tick, I did. Now it's difficult to have a clear evaluation of the old routines. We judge many, and yes, sometimes is yes or no, enough or not enough, difficult to say. But we hope that with this explanation, the future will be better. I hope you understand, so you can pass the message to the coaches. More coaches understand, more is easy life for you. So if you see, let's see if this video, you can see maybe is jumping for you. You see just this simple circle, this is not choreography. And this is the reason is not, I can do bigger for you. Check again. Now it's better. Okay. She's moving not bad, but in the moment she sighed, just 2 times this. This is not choreography. So this is not enough. I hope you could see without jumping too much. The next one is one of the things I said is a question mark. Okay. Big. Forget this. Out. Okay. Check this. You see, something simple is something different than this. Is enough. She can do a little bit more at the end. So in the traveling, A, B, C is not bad. So she's moving and coming forward. At the end, okay, can be a little bit more with the leg or with the body. So this is the reason you have a question mark here. We are in the situation, we like, yes, is enough, I don't know. Better to add something more, trust me. And we are in the close to beam. Also here is something judging the old routines that is gray. You have different options as today. 2 elements touching the beam, like a flip-flap, cross seat, go to roll backward to handstand. 2 elements, fine. Or 1 element and 1 movement with choreography. This is very important. Movement is not pose. Pose is not a movement. Movement means the gymnast must move. With choreography, again, means that the arms or the legs must have a choreography value. So, example, Typical example. Mount the two legs. Go to cross seat. Go to the stomach and just like this with one hand. This is just a pose, not enough. Or the gymnast is doing mount, cross seat, touch with the knee and up. Is not enough because just touching, there is no choreography, no movements. So she has to do something with the arms and come up. In this cross seat, up to now, the cross seat was not considered a part touching the beam. Now, the new is that the cross seat could be a part touching the beam, a different part touching the beam, if the gymnast in this seat has some choreography, moving the legs, I don't know, turning, moving arms, but not just this simple and go down again. So in cross seat, just this circle is nothing, is not considered choreography. So be more creative. It's okay? I hope I explain well. I know that is not easy. Or you have a third option, which is 2 movements with choreography. But again, movements, move. The gymnast must move, not just stay there, sleeping. I hate this stomach sleeping because it's so popular. At least there make something. We saw some gymnasts doing from the stomach, sleeping, arch with the swing of the leg backward. This is fine. The gymnast is moving. So in this case, with 2 choreography movements, she must touch with 2 different body parts. And again, the cross seat could be 1 if she moves there, not just sit, track, and go up. This is a pose, it's not a movement. It's clear enough, Yazaira?
I think so, and so far I don't see any questions, so I think
the
it was
question
clear.
will come with the videos.
Yes.
Okay, look our Flavia. Flavia. Okay, good example. Look, Flavia. Okay, now is okay. And this, the second is missing. So what she has, she's going down, no choreography. This is a choreography, and this is nothing. So it's only touching 1 time with choreography, and this is the reason is not enough. 0.1 deductions. This one is the other one. Apply. Again, this Moreno is a question mark, but she is the, allora. Okay. Down, sitting, arm circle, then knee, then again, arms. Elongation missing? Yes. But at least she's trying to move arms, and it's not just both arms circle. 1 second with the head, fine. Elongation, here, yes, is a problem. So amplitude is a problem. But at least she tried. Can be more rich? Yes, this is really the minimum. The minimum. More minimum than this is not possible. Choreography, finish.
Perfecto. Grazie, Donna.
Prego.
Okay.
If you have time,
yes.
I want to show you, because we are here, and I want to show you one thing that is here. Yes, because for me, this was one of the best things we did. Sometimes we do good things, not always, but sometimes we have good ideas. Okay, this one. Okay, look this. This. Okay. Okay. This is the artistry checklist. You see? You have here everything. This is floor. Example floor. You have everything, and you go through these deductions when you see the routine, and you just tick. At the end, you know exactly the deduction. It's not that, okay, my feeling is, okay, go around randomly. I hate when you apply artistry randomly. Each gymnast is different. So for each gymnast, there should be a proper deduction. And this will help you. We have for beam, and we have the same for floor. Yes, this is floor, and we have the same also for beam. Next.
I think, yeah, that's very nice to help the judges. I mean, trying to make a clear point about artistry, that it's not supposed to be, I feel like it's 2/10. No, it's 2/10 because this and that. So thank you for that. I would like to show a couple videos, the ones that I send you, that ones that we have some questions. So let me share my
Yes, Zaira, I know
yes.
you saw the presentation of European gymnastics.
Yes.
I can send you the presentations.
Okay.
So if you want, I know, I think maybe Anka already shared with you.
Yes, they did share, and the webinar that we did, I use 99% of all the videos that you use, so we already covered those.
Okay, the presentation, not the evaluation. Evaluation was them, but the presentation, we did the presentation. So you can use the presentation and share with all the judges, even translating in Spanish for all your judges. It's a basic, it's starting point, okay?
Yes, no, that's what I mean. That's what I actually did, because the webinar that we have a couple weeks ago was pretty much what you and Johanna and Liva did. So that's what I'm saying, that the videos that you use, I look for those gymnasts. So that's pretty much what we did, what you guys did during the European webinar. So the first question that we received is about, let me stop share 1 second, because I want to make sure that I maximize the videos so we don't have that much trouble. Okay, it's about a turn. I hope that everybody can see. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, let me play. I'm going to put it one more time. So in this case, this gymnast, she performs a lovely turn with her, with her free leg extended, but she's holding it. So we want to clarify for the next cycle if that is going to be considered a turn with the leg horizontal, or just a free leg because she's holding the leg.
Just a free leg because holding the leg. The new description is that turn horizontal only with free leg extended. Free means also free, not holding. So just a simple free. Anything else, or leg bent, as we saw many, or hold, this will be the normal pirouette with leg optional. Below horizontal is in the text, but anyway is leg optional. Below or above is leg optional. So in this case, if turn completed, will be a B element, exactly the same than the double pirouette. So only one in chronological order.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me share with everybody another video. Okay, share. Okay, I think that everybody can see it. I'm going to put it again inside shoulders. And the question was, there is no insufficient pike position deduction for inside shoulders on bars that almost look like toe-ons. So how can we make a difference between a gymnast that shows a good technique in the piking of this element versus one that does not show that compression?
For sure, not enough pike position, because she's pike. Otherwise, she cannot go out of the bars. For sure not. And at the moment, we never discuss this kind of deduction. I will discuss with the technical committee. Elena Davidova, you are here, correct?
I'm not sure if she's here.
Okay, because she said that she would like to stay with us, but anyway, I will discuss with the technical committee. In extreme case, precision is the deduction for any season.
So precision. Okay.
In case, wait. At the moment, we have no deductions for this situation. We don't apply any deduction for this kind of situation. We never discuss it. And actually, the one you show me in the video is not one of the worst.
No, yes, I know.
So this specific for me is no deduction.
Okay. So we have another question about floor. Let me share the video. And I'm gonna say the question first. Nowhere in the code of point or help desk says that the dance passage cannot have a pause like a Thora did in 2019. Can there be a clarification on what constitutes a break in the dance passage besides landing on 2 feet? And now I'm going to share the video. And this was during podium training, because I know that she changed it for the competition. I'm gonna share it again.
She changed because we said there is a pause, so it's a break. This is why she changed. We help already during the podium training to solve problems in advance, not to help gymnasts, mostly to help judges, not to have a headache.
Okay, but the question was because in the description of the dance passage, it doesn't specify pose or pauses.
Okay, but it say what? Yeah. Traveling, right? And if you have a pause, you are not traveling.
Okay.
So sometimes it's not necessary to write everything because the meaning is already inside the intention. A fluency, traveling. So a pause, break the traveling and the fluency.
Okay. So the last one that we were sent, let me share again. Okay, I'm going to read the question before I show the video. It's the question is, after the toe-on half, is there a fall and an intermediate swing or empty swing? Okay, wait. Fall, intermediate swing, or empty swing plus intermediate swing. So 1.5 if we consider a fall, or just 1 point because of the empty swing and intermediate swing. Let me replay. So after the toe on, one more time. Okay.
So this is only intermediate swing, because intermediate swing, you don't count how many times he swings, just swing. So this is not a fall on the apparatus, because she's not collapsing on the apparatus. She's not doing a pullover to go back. And she's not stopping, take out hands, adjust, and go. Of course, in this swing, if she turns, she has to change the grips. But this is normal. This is something we understand in gymnastics. So this is just intermediate swing. And don't forget, empty swing and intermediate swing, now only 0.5. No more execution deduction, also in the empty swing. So, to be clear, Shaposhnikova, no empty swing. So, if in back you have slightly left or body or below horizontal, whatever, because it's not an empty swing, you apply execution deductions. If Shaposhnikova keep the swing backward is an empty swing, 0.5. So in this case, no deductions if left apart, body, swing below horizontal, whatever. Because when you deduct for empty swing, you don't deduct anymore for the other execution faults.
Okay, so
I hope it's clear enough.
Yes, yes. I have a question, but actually it's not for you. It's in what Facebook or Instagram page could we have all the activities for Pago? And again, you can, for the judges and coaches that are in this webinar, you can follow Pago has an Instagram page, Twitter page, their actual web page, and all the webinars, everything that is under the umbrella of Pago, it's always on those pages. You can check for registration for events, and you can check our calendar. So I'm just checking the questions if there are any more questions for Donna. And oh, there's one. Will the study material on STS will cover the new requirements for the ring positions? I'm pretty sure that's yes. Yes, the ring.
Crown of head. Stanley Olio, I don't know if you remember Stanley Olio, you are too young probably. They say, this is exactly the crown of head.
Yeah, I do that whenever I do a webinar as well, with the scratching the forehead. So
yeah, we have a very, in the presentation, sorry, Yazaira, we had collaboration with Fujitsu, and these ladies, yes, you know, she's in the wheelchair anyway, she's very good with technology. And this Ayako created from one drawing of the face profile a very nice point where is the lowest part of this crown of head. Of course, This dot you will see in that drawing is, if I speak there, you don't listen me, I learn. So is line here, okay? There is, you will see a vertical line here going, and this is the lowest part of the crown. It's not the only part, because if you have the foot here, of course it's good, of course. So this is the minimum requirement. But you will see the drawing there. So now visually, to help the judges, a ring must be a ring. So no more shoulders, no more whatever. Back foot up, and you say, thank you, gymnast, finally.
You're on mute, Yazaira.
Sorry. We have another question, this time's about the split lip full. If there's going to be any clarification on how the split lip full and the tourgette have, which are different elements in the code. I mean, I guess the answer is that if they don't use the tourgette as a technique, then it's the split full. But
yes. Okay. If you go maybe YouTube, or also you go to these 3D FB Curves, this French guy creating animation of all elements in the code of points, you will see that they are performed totally with different technique. What Yazaira said is true. One is split lip, full turn, and the other one is tourgette plus additional half turn. But if you go also in YouTube, there is only one gymnast in the world at the moment who perform sweep lip full turn. The name is Perez, and is from Spain. It's not recently, it's one cycle before, not this cycle. It's one cycle before. On floor. So you can see that she did really split lip full turn.
full turn.
Honestly, I didn't like much, and probably is the reason not many gymnasts are doing it, because you may have quite many deductions, probably. But she was original, and she did really split lip full turn. All the other gymnasts, all the world, are doing tourgette plus additional half turn. And this is the reason we change the symbol to follow the technique of the element. And doesn't matter if the split is diagonal or parallel. We accept both, but must be 180 degrees. Yes.
Okay.
So if the question is, can the gymnast do both in the routine? Yes, because two different numbers, both C, but different.
Yes, that's true. Okay, let me check some things here. Well, oh my God, we have been to 2 hours. And I said the top of this webinar was going to be 2 hours. Well, I would like this opportunity, Donna.
But I have still 15 minutes. I was late, sorry.
No, yes, I was checking the questions. But there are some of these questions that we can answer. That we can answer in our private
chat.
Yeah. Yes, but I would like this opportunity to thank you a lot for this webinar, because we had a lot of questions that I knew that you were the one that had to answer them. So judges will be a little bit more calm, I guess, or reassured about the test particularly. So again, from the bottom of our hearts, we really thank you for giving your time to us. And I know that this is not the first time that you've been with us in a webinar, and I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be the last one either. So I know that, well, I don't know when we will see each other again exactly, but hopefully in 2022 in a competition. So again, I would like to also to have this opportunity to thank the committee. And as you all know, I mean, we've been working hard, not only for the competition, but also to prepare you guys for the next courses. I know that Carlos is going to continue doing his routines, and in a couple of days, you will have the answers of the ones that I posted yesterday, I think it was. So again, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact any one of us. And again, have a great Sunday. And in the case of Donna, good night, I guess, because it's now around like 7 for you. And good afternoon for the people on this side of the Atlantic. So thank you very much and have a good one. Bye.
Thank you, Yazaira. As usual, it was a pleasure to stay with you. You are a very active committee. So it's really great for us to have a collaboration with you. I suggest, if I may say, that if you have a more question, you collect the question and you send me, and as usual, I will answer. At least in one day, 24 hours, mostly, I answer. Once we publish the material and you go through the material, probably you will have additional question. Unfortunately, on Beam, the connection are still a gray area. We try to do our best, but still gray. Maybe after the material and before the test, we may have a question and answer session, if necessary. It's up to you to decide. But I'm available, or also you can refer to Elena Davidova you have in your continent. So any of us is for you.
Thank you very much. And it's starting in January the 1st, we will also have Elena Lario. So we, yes. So
actually, the transfer of power will be end of February.
Okay.
So we will have the first meeting of the new technical committee only end of February.
Okay, good to know.
Quite late. After the test, anyway.
After all the tests that hopefully will go smoothly. Let's hope for that. Okay, so I don't know if any of the committee members want to say something. This will be your opportunity. Don't be shy. I guess they are shy. So thumbs up.
Como siempre, agradecerle a Donatella su calidez y su claridad en todas las explicaciones que da. Así que muchas gracias, Dona. Que tenga felices fiestas.
Sí. Gracias, Mónica. Today I already tested the Christmas presents. All the world was out because we are worried to go in lockdown again.
Yes.
Because the COVID. So first Sunday, shops open, everybody out, because we don't know in 1 week what will be. So I was surprised suddenly. But sorry, I was late.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We cover a couple things before you got in, so don't worry about it. So
Grazie.
I think that will be all, guys. So until next time.
Merry Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Ciao.
Feliz Navidad. Bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
Lizeth, bravissima, eh? You did very well, Bars and Kita Kyushu.
Thank you, Donatella.
Congratulations. Study English.
Yes, I know.